Here at Litchfield Bull Arena, got ourselves I think he's a quarter horse type stallion. Don't know his name, don't know his breeding. I do know he's been out in the bush for about the last 2 years, and no one's touched him much. So he is halter trained reasonably, what they call halter trained. Halter broke, maybe broke a few. But I'm going to see if we can ride him. First thing we might do is see if we can check out whether he leads properly, whether he follows the feel of this halter, whether he can do that while I give him a rub. What do you reckon, mate? I'm going to run through a checklist, a little list I've got that we've put together for our professionals. We all follow this list. It's a checklist just to make sure that we're going to be safe. If he doesn't come forward, I'll tap him with a stick. When he comes forward, I'll give him release. So I'll give him comfort, give him a nice loose lead rope there. Looks pretty good. Doesn't seem to mind me rubbing him with a stick up here, because it's going to be handy later on if my legs are moving around while he's going along. See if we can move that hind away. Good boy. Alright. Looking good. So he goes forward okay, flexed around me. See if he can go sideways okay. That way, mate. Sort of hasn't figured this too much just yet. That'll do us. We'll reward what we can. I've got to move pretty quick here because he's a fairly active-minded sort of horse. I'll try and tell you what I'm doing as I go through. This little video tape, this tape here, just to give you an idea of what we do. If you want a bit more detail, maybe you get your level 3 done and come to one of our Colt starting courses. Get to find out why we do what we do, when to do it, and how to do it. Here we're just going to put him through a little flight test, see if he gets a bit nervous. If he does, I'm going to disengage his hind, teach him not to get stiff when he gets nervous, because I don't want to be riding him if he gets stiff. Here I'm going to ask him to go over these barrels here and see if he goes into flight mode. Fairly decent sort of jump, but not too bad. A little bit higher than what you needed there, buddy. But he stopped pretty good, so that's a good sign. So if he runs off when I'm riding him, maybe I might be able to stop him pretty good. Can you go this way? On top of me. And again, pretty reasonable sort of stop. Stop. So, yeah. Okay, not so good that side. Okay. Not bad. Come on, buddy. Poop on the run around here. No stopping for pooping. See if we can put a bit of flow in him, in his forward movement. So we're going to go long range. So that was what we call short range. We're going to go long range. 22-foot rope. 7 metres for those metric people. Us here in Australia, we're all metric. We're talking feet. Only in the country. Okay, but we're going to see if we can get him nice and smooth through his forward movement. That was sideways. Then forward. I'd rather he just go forward. Nice little gait he's got there, so he goes sideways a bit every now and again. There he went stiff and straight, ran into the end of my rope. Going to line him up for this jump, see if he takes the offer. He says no, I say yes. Does one of those high jumps again. He's not real good on that. That means when we come to our canter stride, our first canter stride in the ridden bit, maybe that's going to be a little bit similar to that. So I might need to be ready for that. See if I can get him flowing nice. That's nice there. He's licking his lips. Avoids the jump. I'll ask him again, shorter. Come on, bud. Over me again. We might try it again, see if we can get it a bit tighter. Just slow, buddy. Hopefully this time he won't jump on me. That's nice. That's better. Pushing on his hind quarter here. That'll hopefully release. He'll turn towards me, come towards me. And I'd like him to change directions and keep going, so I'm building flow. Later on, I'd like my horse to change direction softly without changing gait. And that could be at a walk, trot or canter. Keep going, buddy. He's getting discomfort at the moment. There, he's got comfort. That's the release we talk of. We're always looking to give this horse release. He's got release at the moment. Here he's going to run into the end of the rope. He's got pressure. Now he's got release, and I leave him alone, and he runs nice and smooth there. If he goes out to the end, he'll get pressure again. He feels it, comes off it. Good boy. Looks pretty good. Hey, buddy. Keep coming. So there he's got a little bit of a stop thought in his mind. And he's supposed to be flowing, so I shouldn't have to be asking him to go all the time. This one I want him to stop. And he goes. That's where we've got to get our communication worked out. Yeah, we're going to see if we can desensitize him in forward movement. So we did short range, we rubbed him with a stick while we're going along. And he seemed to handle that pretty good. We did him long range. He goes long pretty soft. He seems to look like he'd rather, when he does the jump there, he's got like a brace and run off, which isn't a good thing. And he's got a little brace and stop, so he goes a little bit stiff and stops. He goes a little bit stiff when he jumps. That's where he does that big jump. So that's just lack of confidence. He hasn't been ridden before, so he's probably not too desensitised in his forward movement just yet. And that's what we're doing. Oops. I might desensitise him with this rope. Come over here, buddy. Okay, see if he can carry that rope on his back, around his flank, around his back legs. See if I can flick that around. He looks pretty happy with that, doesn't he? Not too bad at all. Let's go up a notch. Good stop, mate. Need to be careful when you're doing this sort of thing. Okay, here I've got that on there loosely. He's carrying that along. I'm going to tighten up this, what we call a flank rope. Not pull on his head, just put some pressure around his girth. around his ribs there until he slows. Then I'm going to release. See that? Release there. Good boy. That's against his instincts. If something grabs him around the belly, usually his instinct should be to run off or brace against it. So I'm going to teach him the opposite. And they're smart animals, so they can figure it out. They're very adaptable, the horse. Very intelligent. They learn by pattern. They learn by release. So if you have constant pattern in your release, you can teach horses very quickly. Or maybe they understand you very quickly. One of the two. He looks pretty good on that. Let's go up a notch. Around our place, we say, when we do little things like this, this is what we call a watch this moment. Watch this. So we've got some contact on that hind. He's a little bit tight there. Maybe a lot tight. So I've got to make sure he keeps going to the left, my left. When he hits the ground on the left lead, then I can release. Keep going, buddy. There's my left lead. Maybe I'll bring down a transition and release. That's fairly aerial. Here again, contact on the hind. Now, against his instinct, that was his instinct before. Now he's thinking, well, that didn't work. Maybe I'll try something else. He's sort of just running along braced, so I'm going to help him out there and release again. You see that rope come down. He's nervous, he goes up a gait. See if I can get my communication through to him. Tight flank rope means soften and relax. Good boy. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can get him down to halt with a flank rope. Tight flank rope means soften and slow. And we saw what his instinct is. Flank rope means buck and jump. So he learnt to overcome his instinct. Wouldn't it be nice if we could all do that? Remember, there's two sides to every story. And this side is different again. A little bit nervous. See his hindquarter spinning out there a bit. Weight coming onto the inside. That's okay. Okay. He's a little bit nervous. We're going to go up a notch anyway. Makes good viewing. But he's trying to tell me he's not real ready. We're trying to progress. Sometimes if you progress, what was small, like that last stage that we were doing where just the rope was over his back, he was a bit nervous, maybe that'll get easier. So sometimes progressing helps where you're at. Here we go. Contact on my flank rope. Less contact on his halter. He slows, I release. That's the deal. See if I can get this back a bit more. He's looking a bit nervous there. I'm going to hold that while he is nervous so he can learn not to be nervous. I've got my contact on there. He's thinking. He's got a nice little trot. Good boy. And release. That's nice. So just being brave enough to go ahead sometimes helps. If you're skilled enough to handle it if it goes wrong. pretty exciting, isn't it? Okay. This here was desensitizing our horse in forward movement. In parts of him where he feels a little bit vulnerable. So usually getting grabbed around the flank while you're going along would not be a good sign for a prey animal. So if he can stay relaxed during that situation, that'll make it better for us when we ride. Maybe we've got a rear cinch on our saddle. Or maybe if we want to drag something from our horse. Hey buddy. Okay. Got a thing here we call a bareback pad. It's made out of wool, Australian wool, and suede, and some nice leather for reinforcing. And it's a good introduction to the saddle. It's good for a horse's first ride because he can feel your body, feel your movement, teach him good leg yields, teaches you an independent seat. But it's a nice little introduction, and if the horse doesn't like it too much, it doesn't cost as much as my saddle to replace. If he wants to express himself, he's pretty good with that. So rub them all over. Beautiful. Good boy. Rhythmically. So he sniffed it there on the way past. Make sure it was okay. He's a little bit nervous on this hind quarter. It's still not too bad. And here it's on both sides of him. And he doesn't look too scared there, does he? Oh, or does he? Okay. But see if we can do that a bit bigger. For those days when we're in a hurry. Remember, this is all new. This bareback pad, this is new for this horse. So never assume. Even though he's looking pretty calm here, he's moving around a bit. His feet say go. Let's see if I can steer his back end. Good. What about his front end? Good. Back end. Front end. Stop. Looks good. Let's go long range. We're just going through the checklist here. It needs to score around about a 7 out of 10 in each part of this checklist for me to continue on. I have continued on when the horse has scored less than 7 out of 10, but you do that at your own judgment call. I recommend 7. I have gone forward on 4, but I didn't get the ride I wanted, but I got the ride that I expected, because you can't expect too much if you go forward and you haven't prepared your horse enough. Here's a hind quarter yield to a stop. Good boy. Let's check this bareback pad. Looks pretty good there. Come on, buddy. Now his gait doesn't seem too much different with that pad on, so that's a good sign. Let's see if you do this jump. Now, he didn't do the jump very well without the pad on, so I don't expect any more this time. Come on, buddy. Very nice. Hindquarter yield I'm after now. Pushing my feet towards the horse's hind. There. Yields. I release. About the other way. I'm just going to cruise around a bit. He looks a bit stiffer that side. A little bit faster. Here I'm going to do a hindquarter yield to a stop. Good boy. Might try that barrel on that side. It's looking nice and confident. This is really good. He's spotted the barrels, he knows what I'm up to. Keep going, mate. That's nice. Hindquarter yield. I might do it to a stop. Looking good. I reckon I can ride that. Let's have a look. As long as it stays like that. What do you think, boy? Never had a human on here before. Just make sure he's not allergic to humans. I can rub myself all over him. He looks pretty happy with that. He's checking me out, which is a nice thing. See if I can get my head up here. Doesn't mind that too much. So that's where my head's going to be up a bit higher when I'm on him. Here I've got my rope just short enough to, if anything goes wrong, I might be able to stop that back foot from hitting me too hard when the horse takes off. He looks like he can handle that pretty good. Got a bit of weight on him there. And off. Good boy. Here I'm going to stay on him for a bit longer and rub on him. Just sort of facing forward there. Good boy. How was that? He just seemed like he'd rather me hop on. Sometimes we need to rub him a bit more. Alright, this horse has been in the bush for 2 years. He's never been ridden. He's stallion, he's been running with the mares. Here I'm going for a hindquarter yield. I'd like that hindquarter to go underneath him. And just maybe step out and do his first direct rein, which is 2 comfort. He's a little bit nervous. I release him my forward. He just gets comfort there and he's forward. There, feels like he wants to do more than just step forward. So I'm going to bend him to a stop here, and he's got to put his weight down on his inside front leg. And he's just trying to feel my balance. He's just unstable there. It's all new for him. There, he's found it. When they stop, it's real important that they flex around you. Flex around that inside front leg in this case. When he went forward for his indirect to what we call direct rein, so back end to front end, it's important that he puts his leg under him to go forward. Okay? And those of you may have ridden a horse that doesn't put his feet under him when he's going forward, and they sort of feel like they're hollow backed and their nose pokes out. These first rides are vital for the horse because they learn by pattern, good or bad, they'll remember. So it's important this guy's first steps out are positive ones with positive posture, which means getting your legs in the right place and you not teaching them bad habits. Okay, and he did that. Got his leg under him, did his first indirect rein, and a little bit of a direct rein there, but he's a bit nervous. We'll try the other side. Okay, mate. Get over here a bit. Now, he'll be nervous because reaching with his direct rein is a confident move with a flex. So, if he's a little bit nervous, it'll be short. You'll see this. You'll keep an eye on this as you watch. It's the first time anyone's ever hopped on him from that side. He looks pretty good, but I'm going to hold this mane anyway. Here comes my first hindquarter yield. Our first hindquarter yield. When he lets it go, I'm going to release that front so he can do a step out. There. I've offered it. See, I'm offering. He's not taking very much. There he goes. Little circle. Now, most people would do is pull on the other rein. But we're teaching this horse to go 2 comfort, and that's not too bad. Now I'm going to ask him to stop. Put my weight down on the inside front, and then I'm going to use my rein. So I'm teaching him to flex from my body first. Now he's a little bit nervous, he's keeping going. See if he can get that leg underneath him to stop himself. And I'm going to try and help him by balancing over that leg. Here's a little bit. Oh, did you find it? No? Oh, no, that's not it. Try again. Don't want to teach him that one, do we? There. There. Almost. Almost. There. It's all in the release. Okay, I'm going to try and get this up to a trot now. We'll see if he can do this with me short range first. That would have made an interesting ride. He would have been alright once he got going. There. Down to a stop. Weight on inside front. Good boy. Other direction. bit nervous if I spank him. I'll remember that when I'm on him. But okay, once he gets going. So it's going to be real important when I ask him for his first transition up that he doesn't get too scared. Move over there, buddy. Ready? It's one of those watch this moments. Here's my first trot, believe it or not. Ever so little, but I'll take what I can get. You saw that little moment there where he could have got a bit nervous. But I better stop this time. We're going to build on this bit by bit. He's handling that better, isn't he? It's a nice trot. Relaxing now to the inside. Beautiful stop. See if we can get that a bit smoother on this side before we go to what we call flex to flex, which is changing directions. Hind quarter yield. Matey. There it goes. Up to a trot, I hope. That's much nicer. Relaxing. See if we can get, if he can remember to put his weight on the inside front. Good boy. We're coming along. That was a nice trot. It's important that if you can keep your horse soft and supple through forward movement, you'll have purity of gait as well. And if you want a nice trot like that, keep your horse confident. Do the other side, mate. So in this, we're going from our indirect rein to our direct. Come on, buddy. There, then release, nothing. Hind, release, up to a trot. Relaxing on the inside, down to a walk, changing flex. Here he's a bit confused, so I use my indirect. Up to a trot, relax, down to a walk and halt. So a little bit confused on that one. But he come through. He cut me some slack there when he was confused. And it's important that you build up rapport with these guys before you hop on them. Otherwise, if you've got to spank them and cluck there and they don't understand what you want, they'll try to do something positive for you. And it's important that they stay positive when you're on them. Here we're going to try that again. Relaxing down through a walk, changing flex, he's stiff again, that's a bit better. We're up to a trot. That's coming along, that's much better, improving that much every time. And I'll give him his reward. It's a pretty good deal. That's a nice look for a stallion who's been in the bush for 2 years for his first ride. We're going to go out and explore the arena. Here we're just going to laterally flex again, put another comfort spot up here. Not so comfortable that we can have something to eat though. Wait for him to acknowledge that. Round about there. Oh. See if we can just trot around the arena. Come on, bud. The other way. Here I can feel he's a little bit stuck in his forward movement. He doesn't know he's going to comfort just yet. There we go. That's where we were going. Maybe next time we want to get here a bit sooner. Once he can get real smooth at that and real confident with that, then we'll take him up to a canter. But as you can see, there's a progression. We progressed from the ground, we progressed from short range to long range, we progressed by desensitizing them and forward movement. We did some one range stuff and small circles. We took it up to a trot, did some transitions. Now we're starting to build the horse's confidence in forward movement. When he's ready, we'll go up to a canter. But before then, we might introduce him to the saddle so it's a bit more comfortable for us.